All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're looking at something I know a lot of Christian artists struggle with. You've got this powerful, God-given calling, but how do you actually turn that into a career that can sustain you? We're going to break down a really practical framework for that today. You know, this question right here really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? If you're a creative, you probably feel this deep in your bones. You have this amazing gift, this passion for ministry, but the actual path forward, it just feels foggy. It's a super common struggle. You know why you're doing it, but you're just missing the how. And this slide just lays out that disconnect perfectly. See, over on one side, you've got the dream. That's all the passion, the calling, the why that gets you out of bed in the morning. But on the other side, you've got the career. That's the strategy, the structure, the how that actually keeps the lights on. The real challenge is building a bridge between the two, because without one, the whole journey can just fizzle out. So it's pretty clear, a calling needs a plan. But you know, a plan needs a guide. So let's meet the person and the organization behind this whole framework we're exploring. This is Victor V. Smith, and he's the founder of Sanctified Sound. Now, what's really crucial to get here is the depth of his experience. We're not just talking about some guy who plays music. We're talking over 20 years in the trenches as a Grammy-recognized producer and a mentor. His whole mission is built around helping artists cross that bridge we just talked about, to go from just making music to actually building a career that lasts. And you can tell that mission comes from a real place. This quote from Melinda Roberts says it all, really. It highlights that this whole system isn't just about business tactics. It's really rooted in a genuine heart for God and a real desire to help other people live out their calling. Okay, so this is the core of it. This is the solution. It's called the 7-Step Impact Blueprint. And honestly, the best way to think about it is as a map, a roadmap designed specifically to guide an artist from their ministry heart all the way to marketplace success. And here they are, the 7 steps. You can see the logic right away, can't you? It starts with that deep internal work, discovering your calling, defining your message. Then it moves outward to the really practical stuff, like building a foundation, designing your brand, and showing up consistently. And it all wraps up with the growth phase, engaging with people and really diversifying your impact. Let's break it down a bit. So those first 2 steps, that's what's called the awakening. And this is all about that internal spiritual work. It starts with truly getting that your gift isn't just a hobby, it's a spiritual assignment. Then it's about getting crystal clear on the message you're supposed to share. You know, like Habakkuk says, write the vision and make it plain. Okay, next up is the structuring and presentation. This is so key. Once that spiritual foundation is solid, you've got to build something on it, right? This is about creating the actual systems to sustain your ministry, you know, like building your house on the rock. And then it's about presenting your ministry with excellence, because how you do your work is a form of worship itself. And the final phase is all about commitment and multiplication. This is where the rubber really meets the road. It's about being faithful and consistent to build trust and momentum. It's about genuinely serving and connecting with your audience, not just performing for them. And finally, once you've proven you can be faithful with what you have, it's about expanding your reach. Now here's where it gets really interesting. That 7-step blueprint we just walked through, that's actually just the beginning. It's the first step in a much, much bigger journey. So yeah, that whole blueprint, think of that as stage 1. It's the foundational calling stage inside a much bigger framework called the Artist Impact Academy. It's basically the launch pad for the entire journey. And this timeline just lays out the whole path so clearly. You start with the calling. That's the 7-step blueprint. But from there, you move into preparation, then building, then growth, and ultimately all the way to leadership. It's a complete roadmap from that first spark of purpose to building a lasting legacy. And just to boil it down, here's what each stage is really about. The call, that's about finding your purpose. The preparation, it's about strengthening your faith. The building, that's where you actually form your ministry and your brand. Growth is all about expanding your reach. And finally, leadership is about cementing that legacy. Okay, this brings us to the huge idea that's really holding this entire framework together. This powerful union of deep, authentic faith and straight-up professional excellence. And this right here is the central takeaway. Remember that tension we talked about at the beginning, the dream versus the career? Well, this is the answer. The core idea is that obedience to your spiritual calling and the pursuit of professional excellence, they're not fighting each other. In fact, they're meant to be partners. I love this table because it makes it so clear. On one side, you have ministry. That's the heart of it all. Your calling, your message, your purpose. And on the other side, you have the marketplace. That's the stewardship of that heart. Your plan, your brand, your systems. One is the why, and the other is the how. You absolutely need both. It all boils down to this simple, but honestly really profound idea. Ministry is the heart, business is the stewardship. The heart gives you the purpose, but the stewardship gives that purpose a way to actually survive and thrive in the real world. And this is the ultimate vision, what's really possible when you bring these two worlds together. When both align, creativity becomes ministry, and ministry becomes movement. It's such a powerful challenge to not just dream, but to actually build. So the final question is really for you. What would it look like to build with both heart and stewardship in your calling?